Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, Stitching with a Dachshund. I'm Sherry. I don't think I say my name very often, and a lot of people say, "What? So what's your name?" Anyway, welcome to Stitching with a Dachshund. My name is Sherry. It is April 26th. I'm back with you. If you watched my video previous, then you'll know that I said I didn't know if I'd be back in a week or 2 weeks. Well, I got to thinking about it, and a week fits better. It gets me back onto my regular schedule, which fits good throughout the summer for my filming. But it also puts me where I can get my Maynia, what I'm going to do for Maynia in before May. And I'll talk about Maynia a little bit later. As you're not seeing Daisy, I know, but I promise she is here. I'm going to put this down so you can see her. She's a little angry with me. Or now she's not angry anymore because she's on my lap. But she came to me as a rescue. I rescued her, and she ran the roost of the house she was in. That's one of the reasons they were like, she's going to the pound. We can't take her. Because she's just a tiny little thing, and she just was, it was her way or no way, and she drove them nuts. So when I got her, we had a battle royale about who was queen bee in this place. And of course, I finally won out, but every once in a while, she has to try to show me that she might be queen bee. And I think we went through that a couple nights ago. She usually, when she goes to bed with me at night, she crawls up, she likes to crawl up behind my knees, and she'll sleep there until I move, and she just readjusts. But she's usually no problem whatsoever in bed, and I can sleep fine. Well, for 2 nights in a row, she was pulling a little stunt. She'd get into bed, and then she'd think I've run under the covers, to the end of the bed, back, in my face, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Then have to get down for a drink of water because she'd get at the foot of the bed and bark. And I was like, what do you want? I put her down. She'd go get a drink of water. So the first night I was like, okay, it was an off night. Second night, she did the same thing. So by the third night, I said, young lady, nope, you're sleeping in your kennel tonight because I'm sleeping. So I put her out with the boys. And when I say kennel, it's in a room with a doggy door. Their kennel is connected to that, so they can go out, get water, get food, go to the bathroom, and come back into their nice warm kennel. So they're pampered. They're not outside in the elements. So she slept 2 nights out there, and so usually when she barks, I go get her because she stays in the house most of the time. So when she goes out to the bathroom or something like that, or just wants out, then when she barks, I go get her and I'll bring her back in. Well, first day she'd bark at me, and I'd go look through the curtain and go, nope, you kept me up last night, and I'd close the curtain. So I let her sit out there for 2 days, and so this morning was the first morning I've let her actually come back in, and she has not moved off my lap. And so hopefully it's been like I've yanked those reins and said, no, you're not going to do this. We'll see. I'll see if I put her in bed with me tonight or if she goes back out to the kennel. I went to get her, this morning because I'm like, oh, I'm fixing to film and go get Daisy. And of course she's deaf, like I've always said. And I'm like, Daisy, she can't hear me, but I'm hoping that the boys by running to me will stir her up. So I'm like, crap, I got to go look for her. And I know, just look in the sun because the dachshund's going to be stretched out in the sun somewhere. So the sun for the morning is all the way to the back of the kennel. So I walk through the kennel. I haven't mowed grass. We got a new lawnmower. Let me repeat that because my nose was itching. I haven't mowed my grass in the back. We got a new lawnmower, so it's going to get mowed on Sunday. And so it's kind of tall. So I walk through the tall grass all the way to the back of the kennel, all the way back, because you get to the side of the kennel, so you've got to walk all the way to this side of the kennel because that's where their house is. And so I get all the way to the house, and I look in, and yep, there she is, stretched out in the sun. So I was going to take a couple more steps and wake her up so she could see me because she'll follow me once she sees me. Her brother Ted runs right by her, almost stomps right over, and runs through the doggy door out the short way to where I need to go. And when he runs over her, of course, she wakes up, and she doesn't look at me. She looks at him and goes, oh, my God, what's happening? He ran over me. Mom must be outside. And she runs that away. So now I've got to walk all the way back around, and hopefully she's not decided like, oh, I'm just going to go back to sleep. But anyway, she wasn't. She was at the door, and when I walked around, my movement caught her, and she was like, hey, oh, my God, Mama's out here. I'm out of the doghouse, literally. So I let her in, gave her some water and food, and I came in here, sat down. She came right in here. I had her blanket, and she crawled up my lap, and she has not moved. So she's like enjoying the mama time and hoping that I won't put her back out, but that's all on her. she's got to act right. And that's how I've trained her, and it works well for us. She's not went anywheres in all the years I've had her. So let's see, enough about dachshunds. Let me tell you, like I said, I filmed a week ago. And when I filmed it, I knew it was going to be a quick, fast one for me. And so I left off the man cave on purpose. He hadn't done anything new anyway, and I hadn't went and dug up something that he had done. And so I left it off, and I said on there that I was purposely leaving it off and that I'd get back on it the next week. Well, he comes home from work one day. He watches my videos. He came home from work one day after he had watched the last one, and he sat down and he was eating, and he starts making his moaning sounds, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he said, just not feeling the love, babe, just not feeling the love. I'm like, what's wrong? So anyway, it came down to he wasn't on my video. I didn't feature the man cave. Oh my gosh, all the things I have to put up with this man. So anyway, Robert, you'll be happy to know that you and your fans will be happy to know that I am going to put the man cave back on today, and I will show one of the items that you've done, and it is a pretty item. So anyway, so fans of Robert and his leather work, I'll be showing something here in a little bit. Next thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to my first retreat, and I'm so excited about it. My LNS, which is in Coppers Cove, city over from me, she hosts a retreat every year, and a few months back, Trixie was telling me about it, and she said, just keep your ears open. Lois will start talking about it soon. And when the Misfits were down, we went there, and we all gave her our address so that we could get an email about it. So I went on Saturday to shop, and she said, didn't you give me your email address? And I said, yes, I did. And she said, well, here, I'm just going to hand you this paperwork. I'm going to show you this paperwork because I want you to get some stuff off of it. There you go. That's some information. There you go. You can freeze that and take a peek at that. Texas Stitchers, come join me. I want to meet you so bad. And you get to meet me. Yay, right? Yay. Anyway, so it's really inexpensively. If you saw the price, if you saw the prices, you have to have your $50 deposit down by May 15th. It is going to be July 13th through the 15th. And if you're going and you're doing it all by yourself, you're staying in the room all by yourself, that's a single, it's still $331 for a 2-night stay, a Friday night buffet, Saturday breakfast, lunch, dinner buffet, and a Sunday buffet. So 2-night stay and food, and stitching with people, it's not a bad price. And of course that price drops with the more people that stay in a room. Like if you get 4 people, the price drops to $197 per person. That is not bad, along with the food. So if you have any questions, like I said, I'm going to put her number down below. Just call Needleworks, ask for Lois. Actually, anybody there can answer questions for you. And find out if you can go, if it fits into your budget and your time. And come with us. Come meet us. Come have fun with us. I don't know what else is going to be happening because I've never been to one. I've never been to one of hers. So it's all pretty exciting. Take a drink here. I've done it, people. Today's the first day that me and my husband are we're starting the keto lifestyle. I'm not going to call it a diet. It's going to be the keto lifestyle. A lot less carbs, a lot more meat, fruits and vegetables, limited fruits, but fruits and vegetables. And you get to add fat into things. So, and no sugar. So I have given up my soda, and you can see that I had to put this in my Queen Bee cup to make me feel good. So I didn't want to just drink regular water because after a surgery I had a lot of years ago, I drank water, nothing but water for a year. And I was just like, I can't drink water anymore. I'm over that. I can drink water. I just prefer to drink soda, which is absolutely not good for us. Even diet soda, we know it's not good for us. So I didn't want to give up my carbonation, though, my bubbly, because I thought I could handle drinking water if it was bubbly. I got to drink this way. If it was bubbly. So this is cranberry flavored water, bubbly water. It's not my ambrosia. It's not Dr. Pepper, but it's not bad. I can deal with it. And I think more that I'm off sugar, this will probably even get better. So that's what I'm drinking today. And I'm doing my little bee wine. This is my wine cup. Wine. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about what I'm giving up, think about what I can eat, because there's still a lot I can eat. Anyway, when I do these videos, a lot of time I start getting a little tickle in my throat, or I start getting hoarse. So I will be drinking these throughout the video. If you're one of the people that don't like it, I'll try not to slurp and burp. But I'll probably slurp and burp. So it's all okay. So going to my first retreat, really stoked about it. Hope a lot of y'all are interested in going. I'd love to meet y'all. The next thing I want to say is I'm going to miss Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher. It's her last video. She says she's taking a break, and that's well and good. She needs it, and she should. But she's one of my favorites because she's so calming and sweet, and her stitching is beautiful. So I just want to say, Yvonne, I don't know if you watch my videos. I don't even know if you know who I am, but I know I've commented on your videos several times. But we're going to miss you, but do what you need to do and come back to us when you can. We all love you. We all enjoy you. So just wanted to say that I would miss you. I'm caught up on all my mailing out, the winners and stuff. I'm all caught up. My daughter came and got me. We went to the post office. So April, you'll be getting your prize you won. You should be getting that any day if you haven't gotten it, because I think I mailed it on Monday. No, Tuesday. Mailed it on Tuesday. Chris, who asked for the Cross Stitch Northerner, asked for the illuminated manuscript one that I finished the pattern, so it's in the mail to you. So I hope you enjoy that. Speaking of giveaways, I'm just going to throw this in here right now. I'm not going to do like when I get 500 subscribers, I'm going to give a giveaway. When I get 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give a giveaway. That's fine and dandy. That's good for everybody. But I know that I probably won't even notice when I get there. So I'm just going to do random giveaways. When I find something at a needlework shop that I might not do, but I think I could, maybe somebody else would, I'm just going to pick it up and I'm going to start doing a little bit of giveaways here and there. You never know. You never know when a giveaway's coming. Stay tuned. You just don't know. I don't know. Something hits my fancy, I'm just going to give it away because it really doesn't cost that much to ship somewhere. When I went to send out Cross Stitch Northerner's book, he was going to make me fill out a form on it because he asked me, well, what are you mailing? Because it's going to Canada. And I said, a magazine. He goes, oh, it's not documents? I said, no, it's a magazine. So he said, you need to fill out this form. I'm like, what? If I'd have said documents, I wouldn't have to fill out the form. But then when he got to putting it all in, he said, you didn't need to do that. I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. I'm like, you're cool. I'm all right with that. So anyway, caught up on my mailings, going out, except for Karen Davis Mason, who won the last giveaway. I've commented on your comment, but I haven't heard from you yet. So give me a yell, give me a ring-a-ding, so I can get that out to you. You won it. It's yours. Let me see. I think that's pretty much all the rambling I needed to do because you know I ramble for about 13 minutes and it is 12 minutes and 59 seconds. Oh, we can now move into cross stitch. How's that? I do have a couple of finishes that I would like to share. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen them. But whoops, I dropped it. But so the first one is Halloween delivery. This was so much fun. I've just got to say I had a fun time doing it. It was all gray and black, and I had perfectly thought if I'm going to do that, I'm going to put it in black and gray, and it'll be fine. But when I got to going with it, I was like, I'm going to add some color to the curtains. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I might have showed this in my last video finished. I don't remember as if I showed it as a whip bar finish. So I'm showing it again. Made me think about it because I made the comment last time about sewing with the invisible thread for the Invisible Man. So I don't know if it was finished or if I was just working on it. But there it is in all its glory. I love the little color that I added to it. I really like this. It was so much fun. You know, you get those pieces that are just fun. And that's what this one was. It was just fun. And then I finished Haunted Hollow. I'm so excited about this. I have to do it slow and raise it up for you. You've seen it in the process. You've seen the top one done. You've seen what I thought the second one was done, but I forgot to put the spokes on the wheels. I'm trying to make sure I don't cover my mouth up because the volume goes down when I do that. So now I've got the spokes on the wheels. So second band is done. There's the third band. Isn't that cute? And there's the last band with the house and the tree. And the tree does have little lights in it too, or bugs. There's my blood moon. It says Witch's End. My cauldron. I love it. I think it's amazing. I'm very happy with it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I wanted to stitch it, and it was my husband or my kids got it for me for Christmas, so I'm all happy about that. So those are my two finishes. So I'm going to go into Whips and Maynia now. I'm not doing Maynia proper. I don't know what the term for it is. I'm not doing the 18 starts or the 30 starts or the 15 starts or anything like that. Let me tell you, Gigi and Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, y'all are just, oh my God. I'm giving it to you. 50 starts. I'm blown away. But excited. I couldn't do it because I can't. It's just, I couldn't do that. And Kansas City Girl in Colorado addressed that. She said, some people can't. And she was not ugly about it at all. She was like, some people can't. And she said, I want to, and I can, and it's not going to bother me for it sitting there. So I'm like, I hit the computer. I'm so sorry. I said, that's pretty exciting. I can't wait to watch Gigi and Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World do their 50 starts. I'm excited about it. They got me excited about watching them. So if it's not for you, you can still get so excited about watching other people. I've gotten excited about watching people's Maynia plans. My gosh, there is some awesome stuff out there. So I know Maynia officially starts May 1st. I couldn't wait. I finished. My goal was to get these finished and to work on the 12 days of Christmas, and then start everything May 1st. Well, no. My Maynia is since I worked those days a couple weeks ago for money, I got my check, and so my Maynia was kitting up and prepping and getting everything I need for the top kits, the top patterns that I want to do. Because I want to do them, but I want to finish them. And I want to devote time to each one, a lot of time to each one. So my Maynia plans is to get the ones I want to kit it up and then to start them. And there is no schedule of when I want to start them or anything like that. It's just, these are my Maynia projects. I'm starting them on May 1st. But I don't know when in May I'll be starting these, but I'm really excited. So I'm just going to move into it because I'm rambling. So you've seen this one before. It is the Battle of Hastings. I am super stoked about this. I put a couple stitches in it just because I had to start it a couple of weeks back. But then I needed to make copies of the pattern. And so it put me on hold. So I thought, I'm going to put that in my Maynia pile and start working on it. Well, when I finished these and I worked a little bit on my 12 days of Christmas, I couldn't wait any longer. So I, of course, picked it up and put a little bit in it. So there he is. You can make him out. Yep, he's a horse. But he's going to look good. I'm all excited about it because, you know, I do the whole medieval thing. And this is the Battle of Hastings. This is the Bayeux Tapestry. This is history. This is wonderful stuff. And so I'm really excited about getting the Bayeux Tapestry done. Put him right here because the sun is coming through. It's done in wool. It's just going to be so much fun. I'm going to keep on keeping on that. And the second one, you know what? I'm going to have to do this. The second one that I went on and started, it, was the second, well, not the second in the series, but my April in my series of the Snowflower Diaries, the free patterns that you can get offline. It was a stitch along for a few years back. And so I saw them, and when I first started cross stitching, I had no patterns, none at all. So I ordered some off 123 Stitch. So I started searching for free patterns. And one thing, let me tell you, people, I'm really glad that a lot of y'all talk about copyright laws. And And that ain't the big issue, but the big issue is knowing which one and which one isn't, because there's a lot out there on Pinterest and stuff that you're like, is that a free one? Is that, and it's hard to tell sometimes. So experienced stitchers and experienced people, by y'all telling us new people, watch this, it might not be, it was really helpful. So keep that up, guys. Let us know. So this is definitely a free one. And this is as far as I got on him. Having so much fun with him. He is adorable. Put him this way so the light won't shine good. Those flowers are a mix of two purples. I put two purples together and it's so pretty. So I stayed up last night to finish the flowers and do the apron, which made me stay up till 1:30 in the morning. And then got on Instagram to post this. One of my favorite floss tubers, Kitten Stitcher, posted a piece of needlework that had just arrived in her mail. I went crazy because I study medieval and Renaissance embroideries, and this didn't fall into that category, but it's not far out of the 16. To me, it does not look like it's that far. It's maybe 1650, somewhere's in there. And a lot of the motifs on it I've seen. And I got all excited and fangirled it. You have fangirl people. I was like it. I asked her questions there. Then I sent her a private message, and she's already responded back to the one that I put on the picture. But it's a glorious piece. Kitten Stitcher. I would love, 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 love one day to be able to see that piece. And I happened to travel through Mississippi, going to King's Arrow Ranch once a year, because I didn't go last year, but most of the time once a year. And I might have to call you up and go, please, can I come just look at it on my way through? So anyway, if you don't watch Kitten Stitcher or you don't follow her on Instagram, please do that. I will make myself a note to add her to the bottom of here. Hopefully she'll show it in her next YouTube video, but she's definitely already taken pictures of it on Instagram and posted it, which got me at 1:30 in the morning not being able to sleep, because I'm like, I've seen that lion on another piece. I've seen these pavilions are common on some of these pieces, and I got all excited. Couldn't go to sleep then at that. Thank you, Kitten Stitcher, for my restless night. I put my dog outside, and you post a picture that just sends me over the top, and I can't sleep. But she is one of my favorite floss tubers, so I'll forgive you for that. Okay, now I will be rattling plastic because I am not going to get all this confused. So the next piece that, and y'all have seen this before, the next piece that I've kitted up, and I say kitted up, I walked out of the needleworker shop on Saturday, and then I went back on Tuesday with my daughter, and both times I forgot the linden filament and the gold thread that I needed for it. So it is almost 100% kitted up, and I don't need the gold stuff right away, so I can start on this. So I finished the illuminated manuscript one, and was searching for this. Lovely lady sent it to me. I was blown away by it. So I just chose, I'm doing it in just DMC Floss because that's what I did the other one in. And I had someone ask me on Instagram if I went on and when I did the illuminated manuscript, if I kitted it up with all the called for stuff. And on that one, I did not, because that was a learning process into cross stitch altogether. And I learned a lot, and there's a lot of mistakes in it. And I'm not saying that where people always go, don't talk about your mistakes. I want to talk about my mistakes in this because it was a learning process, and every mistake represents, I learned something in that piece. It's still beautiful. I've shown it twice now because I'm so happy with it. But I love it. But this one, I'm going to do with everything that it calls for. So I want to get the blending filaments. I've got all the threads. So I won't be making substitutions because I love the way it looks and I want to reproduce that. So this is the fabric I got it on. I wanted it to be something simple with a little bit of modeling in it, not a lot. The ladies at Needleworks helped me pick this out, helped me make that decision. So I think it's going to look lovely on this. And I can't wait actually to get started on this. I said when I finished the other one, I need a break from this. I think I'm going to take me a break. Yeah, no, it's going to start getting stitched. But this one, I'm going to, as I stitch it, I'm not gonna do the whole, I'm gonna stitch every night on it because I got a little tired. I wanted to finish the other one, and that was a good thing that I did with that one. But this one, I want to be like, when I pick it up to stitch on it, I want it to be because I want to love on it and put the stitches in it because I love it and want to work on it. Okay, so this is just a little cutie that when the Stitchinit Misfits came up to visit me, that I was gifted, and it's just a little B1. And I've got the little, I went and bought a little B button. In the picture, it calls for just a round button. I wanted a B button, so I picked out a B button. Speaking of the Kitten Stitcher and Shakespeare's Peddler, I saw this when right before she went to market, and I knew I had to have it. So I picked this up. And of course, it's going right into Maynia. I'm excited about that. I love eggs and nests and chickens and everything. Although, you know, my first love is bees. Bees, buzz, buzz. And bees, buzz, buzz. I do like a good chicken. Good chicken. All right. So, the Haunted Hollow was an Elizabeth Needleworks design. And I actually have 2 more of those. I must like them. I must like how it is. So anyway, this is the next one that I've kitted up and all giddy about starting. That's going to be beautiful. Can't wait. So I actually went in and asked if they had the chicken wire or the honeycomb pattern material because I bought some there before for my bee. I've got a big piece, but I'm going to put all my little tiny bee things on it, so I didn't want to use it for this. And they looked, and they were out. So I said, well, you know, I'm not stuck on that. Let's just look for some stuff. And this is, it's called Amber Honey. Honey Amber. And it's actually, I don't know if you can actually, you know how it is. You can't really get a good picture of it, but we'll put another light. Nope. Anyway, it's going to be beautiful on it. So I'm pretty excited about that. I want to do the back one too, but I didn't get the material for that one because it's like not yelling my name. And the ones I chose were kind of yelling my name. Like, hey, stitch me. And then this one. I've been wanting this for a very long time. I think when I first started stitching, I saw some people doing it. And when I saw it done, like in the past, like this, when I saw that didn't make me just like, I want to buy that. I got to have it. It's when I started seeing people doing it monochrome that I was like, I want to do that. It's gorgeous that way. So I did not know what color thread, what color fabric. I was like, I just know that I want to do it all in one color. So we went to the needleworker shop on Saturday. My husband went with me. He's got that artist eye. He's so good. And I said, your job today, while I'm doing this other stuff, is to find me material that this will go on. And then we'll find thread. So this is the material. It's perfect. It really is. They didn't write the name of on this one, but it's got lots of little modeling through it. It looks kind of ancient and antique. I like that. But guys, this is the thread that I'm going to do it in. I think it's going to look great. I'm pretty stoked about it. And I only bought one skein of thread. However, this is one of the reasons I love my needlework shop so much. Go visit Trixie. Go visit Lois. They are wonderful people. They were looking at it. They're both skilled needleworkers, been doing it for years. And we were talking about how much thread. And they both were like, with the amount, it was 20 yards on this. They said, we really think that you can get away with it with one skein. However, we're putting one because they wanted the same dye lot. They put one under the cabinet with my name on it in case I need it. that I don't have to worry about it being from a different dye lot and the color being off. They're amazing. I just really enjoy them. Lois took a moment when I was talking about the nativity scene that I wanted to do, and we were talking. I asked her opinion on Krennic versus Splendor, and she was telling me Krennic's fine if you use it the correct way. And she said, let me show you. And she sat down and took 15-20 minutes of her time showing me this, and I just really appreciate that. I appreciate all the ladies there. They're always so helpful. All right, so what do I have next? This is the last new start that I'm going to do for Maynia. And you know I'm going to add stuff throughout. And that's another reason that I didn't really want to get a lot, because I know that I'd be adding stuff when I see it. So the next one is going to be Spring Rose. I might have shown y'all the fabric on this already. Just move it like a spaceship. So I move it like a spaceship. And then hopefully you'll get the idea of the color that it is. It's a beautiful little color. So that is my Spring Rose. I did not get up my other Dachshund ones yet. I probably will, but I wanted to get these going. The last thing that I'm throwing into Maynia is because I love my husband and I need to work on these. Now, there they are behind me. This is I have not worked on them since November because my thought was December I took a break and worked on Christmas stuff. And I said, I'm going to come back in January and work on that and the Illuminated Manuscript. And I'm going to work on those each day. Well, when I picked up the Illuminated Manuscript again, it took me a while to get back in the mindset of it. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to waste that much time doing the same thing, because I'd have to sit there and think about where was I? How did I do it? Things like that. That's just me. Maybe not everybody. So I said I changed my plans and said I'm going to work only on the Illuminated Manuscript every day until it's done. And then when that's done, I will start on that. So I finished that one beginning of April, and I thought I'm going to take a month break on that before I start. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to work the boots in, but I definitely want to get the boots because I've got everything. I've been working on it. So boots is in the plans. So those are that's my Maynia, my Misfit Maynia plans. Oh, did I do the air quotes correctly? I don't know. Anyway, Misfit Maynia plans. That's what I've got lined up for them. Not to say that I'm not going to add anything. Probably. But my Maynia, I want to see starts, but I also want to see finishes because I love the finish. I love when it all comes together and you look at that piece of art and you're like, I did that. That's so great. Anyway, so Maynia. What else? No, let's just do the man cave. Get it over with, all right? Because he's not going to be happy unless he sees it. I love you, Robert. So today's feature. This is his concealed carry handbag, not handbag, that he made. I wonder it's heavy. For when he rides the motorcycle. So it hangs on his belt. And here he puts something through that, some kind of cording, and it ties to his thigh. So this can ride with him on the motorcycle. And then we're never caught off guard or, taken advantage of or anything like that. We're always prepared for emergency situations. But I'll get it close for you. I love the feathers on this, and the buttons match. Let me see. Look at the stitching on the side. And the white stitching, he did it so that it kind of looks like bone. And then a picture of the back again. And his fringe. I love it. And see he put that in there. And stitching. So, he does amazing work. He always does. And this is only meant to carry the concealed weapon. That's all it's meant to carry. So, look at the bone sticking out in here. That's awesome. So anyway, that is my man cave feature for this week. It's beautiful. Which moves me into my medieval side. And I do have some things to share, but it's more cooking along the lines of cooking, which is one of my areas of areas of expertise. I study the embroidery and I study forms of cooking, which we all know there's an umbrella over the embroidery. There you can get into black work, white work, red work, gold work, opus olympium. I can't say the name. It's all fancy. All kinds of stitching falls under the umbrella of embroidery. Same with cooking. So just this morning, I signed up to teach a class the second week of in June at what we call our King's College. And that's just tracks of classes. And the members of the historical group that I'm involved in, and I always link them below because I talk about them all the time, the Society for Creative Anachronism. Members of that group teach other members because we usually have an area or two, maybe three, that we excel in, that we really love and we study, where it could be clothing, embroidery, metalwork, woodwork, leatherwork, husbandry, gardening. I mean, anything they did for a job, our pleasure. Then we in the society, somebody somewhere has probably researched it and recreated it, or is recreating it, or does the work, like Robert's leather work. This is not medieval, but some of the majority of the work he does has the medieval, where he's taken balls that they found. This is in there. There was an archaeology book, and they had scraps of leather that they found in the walls of these houses. And they had it all down, and they were stumped. They couldn't figure out what it was. And so he's looking through the book, just enjoying the book. And he looks at that for a while, and this is just how his mind works. He was like, that's to make a ball. That's a ball. And to prove that he was right, he looked in the book, drew it out, made the pattern, and I'd be damned if he didn't make a ball. That he was right. It was a ball. So that was pretty exciting. So, boy, I got off again. So anyway, back to the medieval side of me, what I'm going to do. I just signed up for that class. I'm going to teach what most people refer to as sourdough, but it is actually wild yeast and wild yeast starter. And my premise of the class is our sourdough starter the same today as it was in the Middle Ages, in the Renaissance, later? Because you hear a lot about sourdough starter, and then it ends. You don't know. What about it? How did they do it? How did they keep it alive? What did they do? So what I'm showing you is a bit something I'm bringing to the class. This right here is I took my sourdough starter and I smeared it on some wax paper very thin. And I let it totally dry out, and then I chipped it off. And then I took it, and after it was totally dry, and I put it back into water, started watering it and feeding it and giving it the environment that it needed, and it came back to life from this. So I know that they did dry it. There's a reference to them. The bread bowls that we use to decorate and stuff in, well, they had very big ones, and they had personal use ones. I have one that I actually make bread in because for demos and such. But anyway, so I read this whole thing, and it was a little bit, the reference to it was a little bit out of the time period that I study, but I know that if they did it a little bit out of time, they definitely did it within our time period. It makes sense. But they would take their trough or their bread dough the night before, and they would make sure that there was a layer of that starter on the bread bowl, and they would let it dry. And so the next morning they would come in and they would start adding the water and stuff like that, and then it would start doing its thing. Wild yeast starter, or sourdough, is a very time-consuming. It's not like our fast rising yeast that we have nowadays, but you can make a thing of bread within hours. Sourdough has a very long rising time. And so they were there very early in the morning and late at night, and they had to the bakers had to constantly be working on their yeast to keep it going. So anyway, this is one part of the class that I'm teaching. What is about, I can hand this out to you. You don't have to bring a jar. You don't have to bring anything to feed it. Just take this dry piece home and start working with it, and your starter will start. The other way you can keep it is in a jar. When I am not actively using my starter, I keep it in the refrigerator. It will get a funky little thing on top of it. It's not bad. It's not going to kill you. You can even stir it back in, or you can pour it off. It's called hooch, and it is a vinegary-like substance that when your yeast is starving, you know, it needs to be fed, it starts putting that off. So it's not going to hurt you. I went to a sourdough class at Mother Earth News here in Belton, had the big expo. And I got really excited because one of the teachers was going to teach about sourdough. And so I went and all excited. And you have to realize I've been researching sourdough yeast starter and all the aspects of it for at least 6 years, if not longer. And I've done everything you could do to a starter to kill it, to bring it back to life. I've caught my own yeast. I've all this stuff. And so she's in her class, and I'm all excited. I got my notebook, and I'm going to take notes. I'm going to learn something. And she starts giving out wrong facts. And I'm like, oh, my God. And I never want to be that person in the audience and interrupting the teacher and going, you're wrong. So it's very hard for me because I knew these people were getting some wrong information. And so I wanted to go. I waited. And she, I mean, not everything was wrong, but she had some wrong ideas. And one of them was someone said, I've tried sourdough starter. And she said, it gets this blackish brownish liquid on top. And she says, what is that? And she was like, oh, your starters went bad. You need just to pour it out and start over. And I like to fell out of my chair because no, it's not bad. That just means it needs to be fed. It's not bad. And I was like, no. And then she had a couple people asking her questions about it, and she either didn't answer it correctly or she didn't know the answer. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to interrupt the class. But I did start talking to the guy beside me, and we started having a conversation. And he was like, you know a lot. And I was like, I've been studying it for a while. So after the class, I went up and I said, hi, I'm Sherry, and I enjoyed your class. I said, but hey, I need to let you know that you can't. Oh, someone asked her if you could dry sourdough like this. And she told them that she didn't think so, that she thought it would kill the yeast, and that but she really had never done it. And so I said, hey, I just want to let you know that the black stuff, and I don't know why she said that because that's one of the first things you learn about sourdough. I said, that's hooch, and it's perfectly fine. It's not ruined. You don't have to throw it away. And she kind of gave me a look, and I read the look, and she's like, oh, great. I'm going to get told how to do my class. And so I said, fine, you're going to give me that look. The second thing is, ma'am, you can dry it. The bakers in our ancestors, they would smear it on their bread bowls and they would let it dry. And I told them the whole process. And she was like, well, thank you for your information. Cut me off. It was gone. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. She said her book was coming out in a few months. And I was like, well, I won't be getting that book. And she started talking about, and this is another thing, people, that if you have, oh, I'm so off on a rabbit trail. I am so sorry, but I'm going to finish this little thought. You, like, everybody talks about the San Francisco starter, the miners, and how they would carry their sourdough starter with them everywhere. And so you can go to San Francisco and get your starter and bring it home. Well, that's fine and dandy, but you're only going to get 1 or 2 bakes off that starter before that starter is now your casa starter. Because to keep it going, you're attracting the yeast that's in your area. So you will have, I don't know, I'm not a scientist. I don't know how long the San Francisco yeast stays in there, but you do get a lot of your own yeast in that. So it turns from the San Francisco starter or the wherever starter you got it from into your own starter. And that's why you can get starter from me and you can take it to your house. And this is one of the experiments I ran. I gave them to some friends. And one friend took it, and it just went nuts. She couldn't feed it enough. It was bubbly and active and growing. And another lady took it, and it took a while. And she was just like feeding it all the time, and it would hardly work and hardly do anything. Every atmosphere is different. Every home is different. And you have to work with your sourdough starter to make it work in your household. So anyway, enough about that. If you're interested, I'll do a video all on sourdough one day. So that's my medieval side. Sourdough starter. How to love on it. It is a creature. You got to name it. My name is Sheila. Don't ask me why, but it's called Sheila. So, alrighty. So that is the man cave and the medieval side. I guess the only thing left to do is do some shoutouts. And I was really happy with myself because I did some shoutouts. And I wrote down good notes, I hope. Okay. So, Cindy Young, Luhustitches, new to me. When you first show the one I watched, she's sitting in front of her couch and on the wall, is this beautiful quilt. And not only is the quilt beautiful, oh, hey, Daisy, it has a beautiful story behind it. She has a picture of her husband as a child, and I would say she's at least my age. And it's a black and white picture of him on the bed on that quilt. What a story behind it. I love it. She talks about her ancient finishes and ancient whips because she stitched a long time ago, and then she's back on it. She showed the bee skip, and I'm like, bee skip, I gotta have it. I want that. She does her own design. She's working on a piece she's going to release for Halloween, and she does the Luhu birds, which are adorable. So jump on that. Of course, they're going to be listed below, and go see her and watch her. I really enjoyed her. Next one is Stitching Quilter. She is joining Stitch Mania for the very first time. She's only been stitching for a little over a year. So stitching quilter, I understand, not quite a year here. But she is doing 32 starts for Maynia. She's excited about starting all these. She plans to start her first Mellabia on May 1st. She goes through all her plans. She has some beautiful patterns picked out. There's no way that I can tell you all about them because she had 32 of them. Go watch. Like I was talking about Gigi and Kansas City Girl and Colorado World, I am looking forward to watching Stitching Quilter progress through this because she had some really nice patterns also. So I'm really happy for her. Stitchinit, she has 25 videos. The last one, she shows her Maynia plans. Last year, she did 5 starts for Maynia. And she's incorporating the 3 whips that she had left over from the Maynia last year. She's calling what she's doing. She's calling what she's doing half Maynia because she's only going to work on 8 projects. I thought that was cute. She's doing a coffee Quaker that is a holdover. It looks great. She picked out her own colors, and she didn't go with what was on the chart, which what's on the chart is beautiful and it would look great. But she picked out her own colors and started working with them. She hand dyes her own fabric, and she has some really great plans. So that's the Stitchinit. Ria's Realm. Oh, I think it's Rara's Realm. Rara's Realm. I've been watching her for a while. She's one that I really enjoy going and watching. Her videos are very short. Not like mine. So 12 to 15 minutes sometimes. So, and she does just catch up on what she's doing. But like I said, I've watched her for a while. She has a very detailed rotation. She likes that she gets to work. I think she works 3 days on a project and then works on another one. This week she shared Quaker in 6 parts. She's doing it in blue, presidential blue, and it's quite lovely. She did Miss Lucy Calcutt, 1825. She's got a good start on it. She just started page 1 of 9 is complete. So she's doing a really good job on that. The Plum Street Sampler Harvest Keeper. She's been having some border problems with that. She's talked about that on our last couple of videos that she's worked on it. And all I got to say, Rara, it's going to be worth it when it's done. It is quite beautiful. The Purple Stitcher. She goes through the Know Me tag, or Get to Know Me. She has some finishes that are Lizzie Kate, an ornament, the Winter's Alphabet, which is lovely. It really turned out pretty. And Spring Smalls, she did one of those. She showed her wordplay for April, and I believe she's working on May. So run over to see the Purple Stitcher. She talks about her house and modeling it, and behind her is a shelf that her husband got a railroad tie, I believe, and they cut it down. It looks really pretty. Southern Stitcher is another one. I watched video number 5 because it was National Unicorn Day. She's funny because she said, I have no shame. And she put a unicorn headband on, had the horn on it and everything. I really enjoyed her personality. She's doing a unicorn piece on 14 count Ada. She got it off Etsy. It kind of reminds me of the medieval tapestry where it has the unicorn in the corral. And the corral's tiny, the unicorn's big, but it looks really good. She has a piece with bees on it, and I could never catch the name of it. She talks kind of fast, but I want to catch the name of that because I really like the piece. So go watch Southern Stitcher, and just for fun, watch the National Unicorn Day one because it was cute. Stitch Party of One. I love that name. She has shared some tips and tools, which as a new stitcher, I appreciate it. She's been stitching for a while. Her husband is a Looney Tunes fan, so she did Wile E. Coyote for him and then did a companion piece of the Roadrunner. I thought it was really cute that she did that for her husband, and really cute that her husband's a Looney Tunes fan. It just made me smile. But she did an army piece, and the story behind it is touching. It has, the top has his medals and his dog tags, and there's a little stitching in it, and it's in a box. It is so beautiful. Go listen to the story behind it, and what happened when she showed it to, I believe, her brother-in-law. She has so many beautiful and wonderful pieces. I can't even go into all of them. She shows some old pieces that she's done before. The last one I'm going to talk about today is Crafti Angi. I've watched her for a while. She does a lot of her own dyeing, and it cracked me up because one of her tags was bacon dyeing because somebody misunderstood it, I believe, and thought she said baking, and instead of baking, bacon. And which then I saw that and it made me want bacon. And I'm like, that's not right. I want bacon. She's really trying to hold off on starting. I believe, I didn't get the name of it, but it's one of the chalkboard ones that has the red truck on it. She's trying to, I know the feeling. I failed. I started, but I don't know if you'll fail or you succeed waiting till May 1st. She made me laugh because the truck on there, of course, is a red truck. And she showed this thread, and she said, doesn't that remind you of Mater off Cars? And she said, I'm going to make it look like Mater. And she made me happy and smiled. So if you haven't watched her, go watch her. She was very exciting on that video. She does talk about her Maynia plans on another video that I haven't watched yet. So like I said, Crafti Angi. She's misfit. That's what she is. She's one of us misfits. So go watch her and enjoy her, and I will post it all below. And again, go watch the Kitten Stitcher. I love her stuff. That is, I do believe, all that I have for you today. So I will end with saying, put some thread and a needle and get the stitching. Bye. See y'all in 2 weeks.